Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We're so pleased to have in the studio with us today. I got Lindsay Smith. She's the Executive Director of Girls on the Run San Diego. How you doing there, Lindsay?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. Can't wait to hear about the great organization. I believe you guys were on before, many moons ago, so I want to see what has been going on since then. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the Executive Director of San Diego Riders, Inc. Just had a big shindig last night celebrating their 20th anniversary. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. You were missed.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it. But
it's okay.
Heard it was excellent.
You had to concert. I get it.
It's
in your DNA.
Yes, it is my DNA over there. Let's get us started with a question for Lindsay.
Let's do it. Lindsay, I know you're brand new to the organization, but what do you like about it? Tell us a little bit about it.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm brand new. I started in July.
Amazing.
We only have a short amount of time, so I can't tell you everything I love about it.
Dang.
But I will say the community connection. Our organization has, between our board members, our staff, and our over 250 coaches that we have, yes, across San Diego County. The community at Girls on the Run is just fantastic, and they're engaged, and they're there to uplift our girls and support really the whole community, not just the girl, the whole community. So that's probably what I love the most is just being able to meet such wonderful people and do great things in the community that really does have a ripple effect.
Right. So I'm going to take a wild guess that running has to do something about the organization, correct?
Just a little bit.
Exactly.
Just a little bit.
How do you infuse running into the organization?
Yeah. So actually, most of the girls that show up are not runners at all.
Okay.
Actually, I'm the only runner on staff. Funny enough.
Interesting.
And also the slowest, if you want to say that.
I doubt it.
Yes, most of our girls that show up aren't runners at all. Our programs typically take place after school, and it's a physical activity, positive youth development curriculum.
Nice.
So that's a mouthful.
Yes.
Basically what it is we do both mental and physical health. So our curriculum will start out with the girls having a topic of the day, usually around some social situation. Like the other day, I got to go out to one of the practices and they were talking about negative and positive self-talk. Well, that's easy to just sit around and have a conversation with. But with our curriculum, the girls get up, they'll do different activities where they're running back and forth to each other. They're, maybe tossing beanbags and balls. So they're staying active while they're talking about these different mental health and social emotional topics. And then at the end of every practice, they actually, because at the end of every season, we end with a 5K. So the girls spend 10 weeks training for a 5K. So they're running laps, but there's still, like I said, a social and emotional component to it.
Is there an age group with the students, or the girls, I should say?
Yeah, we do. We actually have 2 age groups.
Yeah.
So our Girls on the Run program serves girls from 3rd to 5th grade.
Okay.
And then because middle school is such a fun age, and there's, just a few things going on, we also have our Heart and Soul program. That's for our 6th through 8th grade girls.
Right. And now when you do those, do you actually do it at the school? Is it an after-school event, or you do it somewhere else, maybe at a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club, or both?
At both. Typically, they're at schools. A lot of our coaches are teachers who donate their time afterwards to this. So most of them are at schools, but yes, we've been at different places in the community. Some of our sites they'll have them out at a park. Yeah.
And how many will you do? Is there 10 girls involved, 20 girls, 40? It varies?
Whole bunch. So this fall season alone, we have 21 teams.
Wow.
They average anywhere from 15 to 20 girls. And then
Do the math, Drew.
Yeah.
Quickly. Carry the decimal point.
I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about Lindsay being a USC fan. I'm still trying to
Fight
get over
on.
that.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so if they do 15 to 20 on a team, and that would be in one area, right? So Rancho Bernardo or Poway, or are teams all over the place?
All over. We
Right.
are all throughout San Diego County. So
Right.
Oceanside, Fallbrook, all the way down to, City Heights, you name it, everywhere in San Diego County.
So how do they get a hold of you? So then will the school get a hold of you? Will a YMCA get a hold of you? Will parents get a hold of you? How do you get the girls?
Several different ways.
Yeah.
We'll do outreach to the schools, of course.
Right.
Some schools are so busy. There's so many things going on that they don't know about us. So we'll do our own outreach.
Right.
But yeah, we have quite a few programs where either a teacher is saying, hey, I would love to bring this. We've maybe got a lot of bullying or things going on, a lot of drama, and we want something to help kind of curtail that. So schools and teachers, sometimes school counselors, they'll reach out and say, hey, what does it look like to bring this to our school? And we'll assist. Sometimes it's parents. Actually, one of our coaching staff is actually former Girls on the Run participants themselves.
Nice.
Once they were old enough, they said, we want to bring this to our old school because it wasn't there. It hadn't been there for a couple of years. And they said, we want to bring this back because it was just so beneficial for us. So a couple different ways.
Yeah, we're chatting with Lindsay Smith. She's the executive director of Girls on the Run San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. In our 18th year, brought to you by the amazing folks at Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things in our region, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's literacy, whether it's the arts, or everything in between. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. So when they go through the curriculum, is it a set time? Is it a week? Is it 6 weeks? Tell me how that works.
Yeah. So it's a 10-week curriculum.
Okay.
They meet twice a week for about an hour and a half. So yeah.
That's a nice, good chunk of time to be together,
It's wonderful. It's at the end of the day where the school day's been hectic and they get a chance to just be kids.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Now, is the curriculum the same at all of the different places, or, it varies based on what the need may be in a certain area versus another?
So the curriculum stays the same for a season, and then it will, we upgrade, right? Because everything's changing in life and what have you. So we upgrade the curriculum usually once a year.
Right, right, exactly. And it's any kids. It's not tied to socioeconomic areas. If they want to do it, doesn't make a difference where they want to do this.
Correct.
Right, exactly. So why girls and not boys?
Well, girls are facing a lot of their own issues at that age.
True.
So
Very true.
That age group, the girls are just going through different things.
Right,
There's
right.
Different social expectations, social norms that they're trying to fit in with. Actually, a recent survey from I believe it was the National Survey for Children's Health, 1 in 3 girls are bullied, picked on, or excluded.
Wow.
And so, a lot of that is based on superficial things, what they look like, what they're wearing, things of that nature. And so our programs really, really tackle those about how you build up your own confidence with positive self-talk, but also how you build relationships in a healthy way with other women and also other people in your community.
So how much do you, and maybe you can weigh in on this as well, Kristen has a son, but a young son, of how old is Declan? 5, 6?
He just turned 6.
Just turned 6, right? So it would fit in the wheelhouse of this area here. How much you talk about social media? And you say, we know what that can do.
Mm-hmm.
Some things it can do well, a lot of things it can do poorly. Talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's such a big piece of what we do. And, the girls don't have their phones out during the program. Obviously, if there's safety concerns, that's a little different, but
right.
They don't have their phones. The coaches work with the girls to keep those away. But we talk about things. So back to the kind of the positive self-talk, that was a lesson this week. How social media can distort that. You see that this person looks like something, right? They look something like how you'd like to look. And you say, I don't look like that. I don't look pretty. I don't look this or whatever. Or I'm not smart. I'm not this. And that negative self-talk brings you down both physically and emotionally. And so with our program, teaching girls not only to look, that's just surface level. What you're seeing is surface level. Let's get down deeper, both within yourself and what might be going on behind this picture. So the curriculum definitely, and the coaches, they do a phenomenal job of breaking that down for the girls.
Lindsay, when we come back from break, I want to talk about how you work with the parents with these, with the girls as well, which I'm sure is a critical element on this. I want to talk about the 5K in December and so forth, and that aspect of it. Kristen is a runner.
To the fridge.
Yeah, okay, very, very good. Now, I want to talk about, that aspect as well. And of course, we always leave some time in the second half of the interview to what our listeners can do to support you. Obviously volunteer, donate money. Money doesn't grow on trees. That turns lights on.
What?
And that's right. Unless you have a money tree in your backyard and you're holding back to me.
I thought that's what it was. It just wasn't blooming this time of, never mind.
That's right, exactly. So we can talk about those things when we return with Lindsay Smith, Executive Director of Girls on the Run San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are chatting with our good friend Lindsay Smith, Executive Director of Girls on the Run San Diego, joined by my co-host. That is Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. Spotlight on the Community Show is the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year. We were chatting a little bit about, social media and so forth, and, talk about this event you have coming up in December.
Oh, it's fantastic. So at the end of the 10 weeks, because the girls have been training for a 5K, we do a celebratory 5K. This year it's on December 15th down at De Anza Cove. It's the girls, they have their running buddies, they have their coaches. We have a wonderful support of volunteers that come out. And it's also open to the community. So if you are on your own running journey and want to participate in a fun, very energetic 5K, I highly recommend it.
Exactly. So that'll be 3 miles, right? Exactly. If I've got that number right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
a little
change.
bit, that's right. Well, we used to put on an 8K at the Union Tribune for the Dr. Seuss Race for Literacy. And I'm very proud that I finished it in first place all the time because I was in the pace car.
Nice.
Exactly.
Good for you.
Exactly. Kristen, what other questions do you have for Lindsay?
Yeah. What are some ways that we can financially support or ways that you do support your organization financially?
Yes. The biggest piece is we try and keep the cost down as much as possible for the girls. Because Drew, you asked a question about who does this serve. We have girls that, the program costs are expensive.
Right.
So sponsoring a team is great. Sponsoring a girl is great. And then monthly donorship to make sure that we, have that money coming in so that we can fund as many girls as possible and make it as low cost. Our goal is, and our promise is that we don't turn any girl away for their inability to pay. And we've been successful. Over 97% of our girls that have applied, we've been able to fill that. And Actually 100%, but a little buffer there.
Yeah, right. No, I think that's fantastic, and that's true. And so you said you're a runner, correct?
Yeah, I was going to ask. I was going to dig into that too. Yeah.
Did you run in college?
I didn't actually. No, I played softball. So short distances was my thing. I had a knee injury, and then came back and decided, I needed that mental health outlet, which is really why, came to Girls on the Run.
Right.
Because I see such positivity in that space to run and think and what have you. And really came into running into my mid to late 20s and have been running slowly ever since. But do
you run marathons at all?
Half marathon is the most. About that, my injured knee comes howling at me.
Right.
But no, I just finished a relay race at the end of August up in Hood to Coast.
Oh my goodness, how was that?
It was phenomenal. It's very cold up there compared to here. I've become quite acclimated to San Diego weather, so it was a little bit of a shift. So
right, exactly.
Wonderful.
So now, for the 5K, are you involved with training them how to do it, or do you have your team or staff or other runners? How does that work?
Yeah, the coaches do it.
Okay.
The coaches work with them and train for the 5K, sometimes alongside them as well. Most of our coaches have some running background. But the coaches, that's built into the curriculum. That's usually the last 20 to 30 minutes. They even do a practice 5K on the last week of their curriculum. And sometimes parents get involved as well.
No, I was going to talk about that for a break. So how do you get the parents engaged in this? Are they involved in some of the activities, or no, this is just the girls there and parents aren't allowed to participate?
Yeah. So as far as the curriculum, no, most of the parents, unless they're a coach, which we do have a few, which is wonderful. Most of the time, no, the parents are over in their car watching, ready for pickup, that kind of situation, which is wonderful. But they're just a support person, which is great. We offer a training guide for our parents that want to run. Which is wonderful. We also provide the parents with, in that parent guide, there's also not just the running aspect, but there's the how do you support the topics that your girl might be coming home and speaking about. So
Right, exactly. So, and what other topics are you hitting? You're talking about positive talk. We talked about social media. Mm-hmm. What other things do you guys hit?
Bullying, of course.
Yeah,
right. It's one thing to talk to yourself and build yourself up. It's another to advocate for yourself and what have you. So the bullying piece is inherent, and it's how do we foster healthy relationships with your peers, with trusted adults, with people in your community. So the curriculum hits on that really hard as well.
How many of the students you think that go through this, the girls, whether they're 3'5" or 6'8", and you're talking about bullying, for example, and then they go, wow, you know what? Maybe I've been bullying people and I wasn't aware that I was doing it, Did you come across some of that, I imagine?
Oh, absolutely. Some of our girls, that we have both the bullies and the bullied in our program, sometimes together.
Right.
So it is an eye-opening experience. So yes, we've had many cases of that.
Not only like eye-opening, but I would think too, like, okay, great, you have this outlet now where maybe you're a bully, but you just didn't have anywhere to put it, So like the running is so important to, get all of that out of your system, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Positive outlets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing that our youth don't have access to, sometimes don't have time for.
Right.
And this program carves out that time. It carves out that space where girls can just exist, where they can learn and develop skills in a very safe, trusted environment. So
I also think this is like running is very daunting for me. Like but I think for the girls, and especially with the curriculum that you've talked about, like you probably make it very manageable for them to get to, A to Z.
Absolutely.
There's also a great program called Couch to 5K that a friend of mine started doing, where literally like you're, just walking around for like 5 minutes and then you're building up. And I have a friend that, she's running full scale like marathons, like most weekends now, doing Couch to 5K and now beyond. Yeah. So people can do it, like I would just say girls that are out there that are like, I don't know if I can, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we focus on too, is one step at a time.
Yeah.
Life is overwhelming for us as adults.
Yeah.
And for kids, it's become increasingly more complex. For young women, it's become even more complex.
Yeah.
So taking those bite sizes out of both your mental and physical health, one step at a time.
100%. We're chatting with Lindsay Smith, Executive Director of Girls on the Run San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg. Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast on our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things, uplifting folks living in San Diego County, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. So how many of the kids that participate in this 3 through 5 group, let's say they're, now in, 3rd grade, they're going to come back in 4th grade, and they come back in 5th. So you see a lot of repeats?
We do.
That's great.
We do. You had asked about the funding question.
Right.
It's a very big priority for us to make sure that we can have our programs in that school consistently, because the girls look forward to it. Mm-hmm. We have quite a few schools that have been with us for a very long time, and it's great. And the girls look forward to it. It's their first sign up, like for after school activities. It's wonderful.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So can anybody be involved in this event on the 15th, or it's only the girls that participate? I mean, can there be people watching what's going on?
We do. We would love volunteers. Volunteers is if anybody's ever been to a 5K, you see that it's
100%.
Not one person.
Yeah. Right.
But actually, some of our volunteers, we have a volunteer spot for cheer squads. So if you'd like to just come out and cheer,
Drew was just saying the other day how he wanted to cheer for a 5K.
No, but
you explicitly said that to me.
That's a nice try. But you know what? In all seriousness, my very, very good friend's granddaughter is 4 years old and is now doing cheer.
That's cute.
Right. And so I might have to mention this to him. Yeah. I'll have him be in touch with you on that, Lindsay. Awesome. So what can we do? What else can we do to support the effort? Obviously, donations are important, and volunteers. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, spreading the word about this, about our program, bringing it to your local school or community center, because like I'd mentioned, we also have been in community centers before as well. And if you're interested in coaching, it's a bigger volunteer, but it is so wonderful. It gives you an opportunity to give back to the community. The girls love it, and just having positive adult in their orbit it's so important. So coaching is a great way to get involved. But we have lots of different volunteer opportunities. If you go to our website, there's more on different ways to volunteer. Reach out to us if you've got a skill. We'd love to have it. So
What's the website?
It's Girls on the Run San Diego, but it's GOTRSD.org.
Yes, I can figure that out. Well, Lindsay, listen, thank you so much for great content. As we always ask folks, would love to have you come back on without question. You provide some great feedback for us. And bring in a family that has benefited from it. Maybe a 3rd grader and a 7th grader, or whatever the case may be, and their parents, if you're interested.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's the one. Shine the light on the folks that have actually gone through it. Yeah. Here's what the benefit is from that, from the kid's standpoint, and also from the parents. Well, wishing you nothing but great success on your December 15 event. In all fairness, we hope SC loses the rest of their football games this year.
This is ridiculous.
Actually, they won't, because UCLA is going to be 1-11 this year.
This is what Bruins do.
Exactly.
Typical.
No. We stink this year. There is no question about it. And give chops to SC. They got a good team this year.
So much sportsing this morning.
We're not done.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll tune out for a few more minutes. All right, holding back.
Totally normal.
Exactly over here, despite the fact that SC lost to Minnesota, who UCLA plays this Saturday. But Lindsay, you're a good sport. In all seriousness, just wishing you just a great support moving forward, and come back on and make another interview. I would appreciate that. Lindsay Smith, Executive Director of Girls on the Run San Diego. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my co-host Kristen Fogel, Executive Director, San Diego Writers, Inc. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.